welcome to another episode of Sub-Auteurs. We like movies. No, wait.
We do.
Did I just say that? No, wait. Sorry.
Oh, we do. It's true.
Okay, cool. Yes. Okay. There's our catchphrase.
That is also, that just so happens to be our Facebook group too.
Yes, that was organic.
Very.
Holy hell. Welcome to the show. I'm Misha.
I'm Anja.
And I'm MJ.
And on this show, we like movies. We like talking about them. We like hearing what you guys think about them. And we'll probably end up posting stupid things about them sometime during the day. So follow us on socials. We're on Facebook. We have a group. We also have an Instagram. Yeah.
Just goes to show you how much we care a lot about movies.
Yes. Hindi lang like.
Like. Care.
I see what you did there.
Oh.
Wink, wink.
Ching, ching. But how much would you say you care?
A lot? Maybe.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. I cared a lot for that Britney Spears documentary. Can't say much about this movie.
And yet you're going to fill the next hour with your thoughts about this movie.
Yeah. I don't care much for it, so I'm going to diss it instead.
Okay. For anybody who's been following our terrible, terrible attempts at segues, tonight's movie is I Care a Lot, currently on Netflix, starring Rosamund Pike and Peter Dinklage. The story is about this professional legal guardian.
I thought you were going to say garden.
No, she's not.
Like
what the hell is a professional garden?
That's like professional garden. What?
Okay.
Sorry.
So Rosamund Pike plays a professional guardian, and that is somebody who the court appoints to take care of you when you're unable to take care of yourself. And what she does is she runs a scam. She runs a scam with doctors, with a judge, with a nursing home to put senior citizens into the home while cleaning them out of all of their assets. And the worst part is it's all completely legal until one day she picks on the absolute wrong woman. So what did you guys think?
Well, this is the movie that had, that had the hook, but it
had a great trailer.
It had a great trailer. The first few minutes were arguably, arguably good. And then you get through the whole thing and then you realize that you're lost. This movie is just as lost as you are. And you're the audience. You're the audience member trying to figure out what's happening.
Why don't you be a little bit more specific? Where did it lose you? What did you like about it? Start with what you liked about it.
I like the editing. I like the music. And that's it. In terms of narrative, I didn't know what the direction of the movie was supposed to go to. It didn't give me a character to, somehow relate to. I didn't know who to root for, which character to root for. Probably the only character I was rooting for was the old lady and Marla Grayson's wife. Marla Grayson, by the way, is played by Rosamund Pike. Yeah, that's just about it for now. I haven't really processed everything yet. I'm trying to process everything.
It's one of those movies, while you're watching it, you might enjoy it because TBH, its technicals were pretty good. And
yes.
Rosamund Pike was definitely very compelling.
Mm-hmm.
And among other people in the cast too. But right after, it's one of those, when you sit down on it or if you sleep on it, it's like, that was bad.
No. At first, actually, at first, I was like, hey, this movie's great. It's like an 8. It's like an 8 or 9 out of 10. And then I thought about it. It's like, holy shit, that movie was bad. Halfway through the movie, I realized I was checking my phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, there's something wrong with this movie. This movie isn't that great all along. It must be because of the editing. There was something about the editing that made it seem like Fincher-esque a la Gone Girl.
I think that's kind of what they were going for because if you want unhinged Rosamund Pike, she's the right person to cast.
And she did it so well. She played the role so perfectly.
Oh yeah, she was the perfect ice bitch in this movie, honestly. Which is, I think, what the story called for. the only problem was that the story wasn't as fleshed out as it could have been. I think Anjo's right in that you're lost because you don't know at any point who you're supposed to be rooting for, and it's not in a good way. It's not like it's manipulating you, so you're confused whose side you should take. No, I think even the director wasn't sure which side to take, and it shows.
Yeah, I mean, like even Peter Dinklage, I thought I thought he was a cool character, like this pastry eating mob boss, stone cold killer.
He's
or
Russian as well. That is a bad accent. No, that was
Why
not
couldn't
Russian.
he have done a fun accent?
Well, he's not a Menushka,
Oh,
but he had a lot of
Menushka.
comment.
Do you have comment on Peter Dinklage's lack of accent?
He will be sent to Gulag for lack of accent.
He'll be eating a lot of potatoes and beets for lack of good accent.
He'll be missing his macarons. He eats many macarons in this movie.
Yes, not macarons. Maybe it was an eclair.
Oh, that too. Yes.
Well, and his smoothies.
But anyway, anyway,
you're right because
anyway, yeah.
it's either okay. Look. It's either you're rooting for Rosamund Pike or you're rooting for Peter Dinklage as the gangster. But at some point, you have to be shown a reason why you should care. So if Rosamund Pike is going to be straight up evil, we don't have anything on the Peter Dinklage side to back it up. We don't find out anything. He doesn't actually do anything as the gangster to make you scared other than what other people say about him. He could have had so much fun with it. He could have done so much. They could have showed that he was a scary guy. But in the end, he was like a non-entity.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have been fun if you could see how completely ruthless or badass he is, like threatening people and being scary, at the same time being such a softie for his mom? That would be so adorable.
I think that was the entire point, because they were on the verge of that when that first part where he finds out that his mother's been taken, right? And then he's with his lackey or his henchman.
Yeah.
And then he's just in the parking lot. He's eating his eclair. Doesn't even say a word. He just takes a bite out of it. And the guy goes, no. That was borderline scary.
Yep.
And they could have built on that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, like, it was there. Like, it was there. Like, you had like literally like 2 minutes, 3 minutes of Peter Dinklage, and you knew that he was a badass. They just did not capitalize on that.
I'm just confused why you hire somebody so awesome. You give him so little to do. He only had 2 modes in this movie: angry and bored. Those are the only things he's doing in this movie. I'm like, when does he get to be scary? When does he get to be a badass Russian mob boss?
Yeah, I actually liked him when he was angry. Like, those are what few of the
when he tossed a smoothie.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like, okay, because it was entertaining. It was so funny. It was. This was another case of Wonder Woman 84 where you had a great cast. They all had great performances, but there's really nothing much to flesh out in terms of the story and character.
You know who I wanted to see from Peter Dinklage? What I wanted him to be? I wanted him to be Gustavo Fring. That's what I wanted him to be.
Oh, yeah.
I want him to be a guy who doesn't have to say much, but he puts the fear of God into you because you know what he's going to do to you.
Yes.
Yes,
I kind of wanted to see him
one of
be
the best villains ever.
I kind of wanted to see him be a bit of a Cersei Lannister. Oh, this conniving villain, or a Joffrey.
To fuck his brother?
No, man. What
the fuck?
Misha.
I don't know what Anjo wants from his villains.
Oh, no,
nasty.
No,
nasty.
You know how manipulative and conniving Cersei is. He could have been that as well.
That side of her. Just to be clear, that side of her.
I see.
That side of
not her
now.
sex life, Misha.
Misha's priorities have been fully fleshed out, guys.
Stop talking about flesh. That's what got us into this in the first place.
No. Stop.
Moving on. Okay. So you know what would have been perfect is like the Peter Dinklage's mom, the gangster's mom, tells Rosamund Pike, "You've made a big mistake. He's gonna come for you." So you get all these goosebumps. Ooh, what's he gonna do to her? What's he gonna do to? And the things that he ultimately does are kind of underwhelming.
Yes, they were. Except for maybe that scene where they tried to break her out of the retirement home. That was pretty entertaining.
No, but that didn't affect Rosamund Pike. How did that? I mean, they didn't do anything to her that you haven't seen in a million other movies.
I know it's
But-
kind of cliche-ish, right? Like you've seen that that's been done, and you don't have to be a big Russian
Yeah.
mafia boss to be able to do that. They
To
gave him
break
that
out.
title, and it
Mhm.
makes it sound so intimidating and scary. But then it's just generic
You know,
action movie bad guy moves.
It just
Yeah.
falls short. He could have been more conniving. He could have been more clever. He could have been more ruthless. There are so many things he could have been.
He never even made sure that anybody was dead at any point.
Yeah, I guess it's the name of the director, Jay Blakeson, fell short on these things. Like fleshing out the story. I don't know. Maybe he had an identity problem. He just wanted this movie to be so many things, and eventually losing sight of what the end goal was supposed to be.
It starts out kind of believable, right? It's a very interesting scam
Mhm.
that will get you hooked and interested. Like, retirement home, quote unquote, going back to the Britney episode, conservatorship
exactly.
type kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
just-
it could have ridden that wave, and we went into it. We started the movie thinking about, how is this elaborate scam going to unfold? Because
Mhm.
it'll go
Yeah.
wrong at some point. But then they started making it believable, and like towards the half of the movie, suddenly it's like some John Wick shit, dude. It's
exactly.
like,
You had
is
this
it-
corporate greed character.
Yeah,
in Marla
it was grounded
Grayson.
at first, and then it
Yeah.
suddenly took off in flight into some sort of weird superhuman action thing. Not literally superhuman, but it's like, huh?
I get the fact that they wanted her to be this stone cold, ruthless,
Mhm.
conniving, street smart bitch as Marla Grayson. But you have a corporate greed type character who, by the way, could have been perfect as Maxwell Lord. Anyway, going back
We're
to
never getting over a Wonder Woman, are
Yeah.
we?
anyway,
God, I hate that movie.
in Marla Grayson, and then halfway through the movie, she just turns into this, this assassin like.
Mhm.
There's this point in the movie where she gets kidnapped, and after that, she decides to strike back. She wanted to get her shots in at Peter Dinklage's character, and then get the better of him. And then all of a sudden, she's this like
And
assassin.
she
like
did. She
she
took
did.
out like 2 Russian mafia bodyguards to do it.
yeah, and both of which were like twice as big as she was. Right?
And MJ's right. The setup for the movie was actually pretty good because I
Mm.
love a good scam flick.
Mhm.
Okay, I love a good con. I like seeing the setup. I like seeing the victims. I like seeing the schemes play out. And
It's like Matchstick Men.
to be fair, this one had a fucking scary hook
Mhm.
because
Yes, it did.
that is terrifying to know that the law could help somebody actually take everything away from you
And-
under the guise of taking care of you.
And especially to old people, it's like, you don't do that to old people. That's horrible.
And that's exactly why you can't root for Rosamund Pike. Oh, that's just me. Because it's like right up
That's
there
also
with
me.
not fucking with cats. You don't fuck with people's moms.
You don't fuck with old people.
Exactly.
Okay, coming from, as a comic book fan, we all knew how.
If you say Martha, for the love of God, I am walking out. I am
No.
leaving right
No.
now if you say Martha.
No. As a comic book fan, we all knew how Stan Lee's legacy was tarnished by, his last days, with the conservatorship. You know how scandalous that was. And, coming off of the Britney Spears documentary, how this movie could have played at how fucked up that system could have been. That was the perfect hook. They just didn't build on it. They didn't really show how that system, could have failed a lot of people. A lot of people in need.
Yeah. It could have been something like, I don't know, Thank You for Smoking or The Laundromat,
that was
where
good.
they show you the ins and outs of the scam
Yeah,
and they show
that-
you how they get caught or, whatever.
that's what I was
I-
hoping for.
Yeah, same. Like, Thank You for Smoking was a really great,
But
scam.
halfway
Not
through,
scam.
it turned into a revenge thriller with a really weak ending. And before the weak ending, it actually got preachy. It became, this is really happening in the real world. Don't trust big pharma. I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
No, I like the fact that it was supposed to be like this whole message about scams and everything.
Yeah,
and then it's
do a
also
message.
like,
If you want
it's
to do a
also like
message, do a
No, no.
message movie. Don't give me a
Yeah,
revenge
exactly.
thriller in the middle.
I was getting to that point. Na parang, come on, it's like this whole message. It's like this big like finger to the system and how it failed everybody in need, and then eventually, you have these people like it just becomes like this whole weird action movie type. I just can't even explain because I don't understand what the movie is anymore.
You know what my takeaway from this was? I actually Googled if you can keep your tooth in calcium milk just because I wanted to know if it was possible to put a tooth back into your gums after it's been knocked out. That was more important to me than any message this stupid movie was trying to give.
See, I don't even remember that. Maybe those parts might have been the parts where I've been, online shopping at that point.
That's such a 2021 way to say that you didn't like something you're watching. It's like, oh, I ended up checking my phone. Can I just say it's just like?
I mean, it's like the in time of pandemic, you have access to Netflix and like all these great streaming services. You can pause and you can check on your phone or replay whatever at your own time for comfort.
Okay, so we're already at this outrageous events train. So let's get more into it.
Okay.
Let's talk about all the stupid shit that happened. That it's like, because a lot of it was really unbelievable.
I mean, like, okay, fine. It wasn't that great of a movie. It wasn't even a great movie in the first place, but it did actually have its moments that were kind of like funny. Playing to this movie as a dark comedy, like it had its moments where it was funny. Like Diane West. How do you pronounce that? Her name?
Weist?
Weiss?
I don't know.
Anyway,
gangster's mom.
The gangster's mom. Like this moment where
terrible.
Like where Marla Grayson visits her in the retirement home, and they were like threatening each other.
Mm-hmm.
This was the exact moment when I think it was MJ who mentioned that she was telling Marla Grayson that her son was coming for her. And then she just calmly walks away after being threatened, goes behind Marla Grayson and starts choking her. That was funny. That was really funny. But it also played... Yeah, that was pretty cool. It also played to the character of Marla Grayson being this conniving bitch.
Or like the old lady being a Russian mafia gangster mom. It's like, that's where he got it from.
I really wish that they'd run with it, honestly, because look at it this way. Once Peter Dinklage sends armed goons into a retirement home to pull out an old woman, there is no way on earth you can convince me that Marla Grayson, this white-collar criminal, has the means or the capacity to stop them. But there she was with her taser and, she was ready to stop this guy with a gun from taking her client. I mean, come on. There's nothing in her resume that says, counter-terrorist.
Also, how she managed to escape that car when it was sinking. So Peter Dinklage's character tries to kill her, right? So they push her car into a lake, and she still manages to survive.
The thing was funny because they clearly are professionals in killing people.
And they're supposed to be. Well, after this, they're obviously not.
You would have thought that they had it. You would have thought they would have dosed her with the right amount of sedatives to keep her asleep before she wakes up.
Or, check that she was actually dead.
Exactly.
If you were working for a really scary guy, wouldn't you want to be sure?
Yeah, I mean, like, again, but they did bust that myth in Mythbusters, though, like how they did it. But she did it the wrong way.
Yeah, you're supposed to wait till the car fills with water so the pressure's equal.
Which the car did. But instead of just opening the door...
Exactly. She
kicks off...
She kicked out the windshield. She's the strongest woman in the world.
Well, that looks more badass. So that's what they went with.
To be fair, they showed her in spinning class. That made her legs extremely powerful.
Oh, that's you have a point.
Again, fine.
You have a point. I've been to a fucking spin class and my legs always die right after.
Three whole sequences of a spin class.
I don't think anybody who goes to a spin class can kick out a windshield that easily, though.
To anyone who wants to try convincing Anjo he's wrong, please visit him. To all of our spin class listeners.
Enthusiasts, I don't know. Like, I would believe if somebody could squat like 300 pounds, they'd probably kick out the windshield. But I don't know if the spin class can do that.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Oh, man. Look, if they wanted to keep her ruthless, that's fine. That's all good and well. But I never got the sense that Peter Dinklage was a worthy opponent if he can be taken out by this white-collar criminal. Honestly, he's just not that scary.
He could have been.
He could have been because Peter Dinklage, we've seen him in lots of movies. We've seen him in Game of Thrones. We've seen him in like 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. But
Pixels. He was scarier in Pixels.
I was working my way up to that. I was going to say, what kind of a world are we living in where he's scarier in Pixels than he is as a Russian mafia boss?
And he was a video game nerd in Pixels.
He was an angry video game nerd.
Oh, if you've seen Knights of Badassdom, that
was fun too.
That Peter Dinklage was even better than this Peter Dinklage. At least there, he got to play around with this role more. At least his character was fleshed out.
Pretty much anything but this.
Yeah. Okay, on to more ridiculous things that happened. How the fuck was her girlfriend still alive after that assassination attempt?
I don't know. Same thing. They beat her up halfway, turned the gas on, and then waited for the house to explode. But they didn't stay to make sure that the job was done.
I'm sorry. I checked out in this scene. Sorry, I don't remember.
Did you even watch this movie? Why are you here?
I was the one who told MJ to watch it. I was like, MJ, you should watch it.
Why? Because you didn't want to?
I was like, fuck, mali.
Okay, so they had this one line before they tried to kill Martha.
The next day I was like,
Martha.
I won't take it back.
Martha. Yeah, why did you implant
Why did you say
Martha?
that name?
Because you said it first earlier. But anyway, Marla. Okay, when
Martha.
they tried to kill Marla, someone was saying like, make it look as natural as possible.
Mm-hmm.
They used that line as a scapegoat with these failed assassination attempts. And it was so pathetic because like, if you're a powerful Russian mafia boss, do you give a fuck about like leaving traces? I don't think so. At least
or at the
gunshot.
very least, make sure that the job is done before you leave.
Right?
What if the house didn't explode?
Wait, here's the thing though. Here's the funny thing. He's a crazy, well-connected, scary Russian mob boss. Mm-hmm. And as we all know, if we've all seen gangster movies or mob movies, they all have connections to in the government. Why couldn't he have just gone to the judge and said, you gotta fix this?
Diba? They instead got the stupid, slimy lawyer dude who was in the newsroom.
Who wasn't even that good. I thought he was going to kill her in the courtroom, but he failed.
He caved. Like, he sucked. Anyway, I mean, like, we've seen The Godfather. You know, Vito Corleone had the consigliere, right?
And he had senators in his pocket. He had judges. He had police chiefs.
You name any other gangster movie that would have law enforcement or people in... even Batman had gangsters who had lawyers in their pocket.
Peter
Judges.
Dinklage had macaroons and eclairs.
And smoothies.
Wait! I know what made him scary was that he was able to do those gymnastic rings or gymnast rings like really well.
That didn't make him scary.
That clearly did not.
It really did not. No,
it clearly did not help him at all.
It worked enough to scare his henchmen.
No,
worst Russian mafia boss ever.
We've been hating on Peter Dinklage too much. Can we hate on Marla Grayson now?
I don't hate Peter Dinklage. I hate how his character was written.
Yeah, we love Peter Dinklage. That's why we're upset. We're disappointed because we expect more.
Sorry,
from him.
Here's the thing. I don't even remember his name. That's why we've been hating on his character so much. Why can't we hate on Marla Grayson, who is the focal point of this movie?
I couldn't even. Roman.
Was it Roman? I don't know.
I just said it. His name was Roman.
Well, you just watched it 2 hours ago.
And you shouldn't be admitting that you don't remember things.
Again, he was checking his phone.
Again,
he was online shopping.
Yes, I was. I did buy baby clothes.
Oh.
Anyway,
okay, fine. If you want to hate on Marla, let's...
I mean, the character...
I can't. Rosamund Pike was just too good.
No, I mean, like, they could have, I mean, sure, they wanted her to be ruthless. They gave her all, they were reasoning out with the narrations and everything. But then after all of that, it still, failed to connect with me. Like, the character still failed to connect with me. Like, I wanted to root for her so badly, but I couldn't make myself do it because I couldn't connect to her. I couldn't connect with the character.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she also goes on this rant somewhere that, I have to be a bitch because like I don't want to be
poor.
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 It's kind of like she's like, oh, this is a dog eat dog world and like men are shit. I totally get that they wanted to go all feminist in this.
Yeah, I kind of like
And
it.
I would have loved that if it worked, but it didn't. It just
that angle for me kind of, resonates, kind of reflects how Captain Marvel failed trying to be feminist and everything, trying to send out that message, Like, I feel like parang, they wanted it to be feminist in a way, but the medium didn't really do justice to the cause, like unlike the first Wonder Woman movie.
I object to Captain Marvel, but I object to that.
I don't know.
It did do what it wanted. It wasn't a good film, but then it in the feminist aspect, it worked for me.
I don't know. It was so cringy.
I think you're thinking about the movie itself, but as for the feminist movement, it's a different story.
Maybe.
But here, you don't see any backstory as to why Marla is such is so angry at the world.
Okay.
You don't see why at some point, Peter Dinklage was trying to threaten her with like, oh, we've got eyes on your mom, we're gonna kill her, and then she was like, oh, it's fine, kill that fucking sociopathic bitch. You know what? You don't see where all this anger is coming from, so you can't really relate to
you're
it.
not gonna like.
Exactly.
I have an answer you're not gonna like. It's lazy screenwriting.
Well,
To make the bad guy gay.
Mm.
Because that explains everything. That's why they're mad at the world. That's why they think the world owes them something. It's fucking lazy, old-fashioned screenwriting. Somebody's gay, they're automatically a bad guy, or they just can't be trusted. That's what dates Silence of the Lambs.
Well,
For Buffalo Bill, right? Yeah.
Because again, in the same way that her sexuality had nothing to do with anything other than just to paint her.
Okay, fine. Man, I see
the mainstream.
well, I
see
feel
the
like
point
with
in
the
lazy
direct.
writing.
Well, it is definitely lazy screenwriting, but I don't. I think the intention. I'm trying to look at the other side here and be devil's advocate, but I think they were trying to go for the badass woman that gray area character that you would still root for, even if she's like a bitch. Like how we kind of rooted for also Rosamund Pike in Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But I think that's what they wanted to go for. Maybe also why they casted her in the first place, because she did that so effectively in Gone Girl. But then it's just like she's really unlikable here, because at least even if this person's a villain, if they're likable, you would have that inner struggle of wanting to root for them or not. But here, when you're supposed to be kind of rooting for Marla, you're not, because you don't give a shit about her character in the sense that you don't know her well enough.
Yeah, like
we don't know anything about
like comparing it to Gone Girl. I feel like this movie took a lot of the inspiration from Gone Girl itself. Like even the editing is reminiscent of what Gone Girl was. But Gone Girl had the amazing Amy angle.
Mm-hmm.
Before you realize that Amy's fucking crazy. But this one is just, I don't want to be poor. It's a dog eat dog world. I don't want to be stuck in the poorhouse.
Problem that we all face on a day-to-day basis.
Right? I mean, fine. Come on,
right? So it's like, is poverty, like really, poverty is your only motivation that we know of? Because at least Amazing Amy, she was treated like shit, and that's why she's taking revenge. And that's why you root for her. But here's like, she's just a bitch, plain and simple.
Who also has a very certain set of skills for some unexplained reason.
Wait.
She goes all
maybe,
special forces here.
Maybe spin class. I don't know what's in that Soul Cycle spin class, but
I don't know what's about those particular set of skills that you never knew she had because, no background whatsoever.
I don't know, maybe Gold's Gym has a special on breaking and entering and tasing people,
Have you seen the Krav Maga classes they do in those franchise gyms? They're horrible. You can't even trust the instructors teaching you.
Hey, I'm sure they watch a lot of YouTube videos to offer those classes.
Okay.
Also, she also has this part where she has her master plan and everything, and she suddenly has access to disguises.
Oh right,
that stupid wig. It's like you're still blonde. Bitch, if you're going for a wig, don't go with your same fucking hair color. Okay, that is like basic.
Ano ka ba? Her disguise was a haircut, basically.
It's not.
Okay.
I mean, oh my god! I'm not a conniving bitch who's trying to hide. And I know if I'm gonna get a fucking wig, I'm not gonna get my same hair color.
How about how her big plan to get to the executive parking lot was to ask to use the bathroom? So, what if that didn't work? What if the bathroom didn't lead to the parking lot?
Oh yeah, and like she managed to just succeed with a taser.
Mm-hmm. And she not only had the regular handheld kind of taser that you got to press up against somebody, she also had the long distance taser where you can shoot someone from across the room.
You know
because her
what?
bag was just full of tasers.
Wow!
She not only has stock in an old folks' home, she also clearly has stock in a taser company.
You know what else is funny? Like they had situational comedy going on also at the most convenient time. Remember the breakout scene where those two Russian guys get taken out by this overweight security guard? I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, same here. That was ridiculous.
You got
three Russian gangsters. You're right. They should have been in and out, no problem.
They're probably stone cold killers. They've probably killed before. They've experienced killing people. Then you have this rent-a-cop, taking two of them out easily, And it's so convenient that one of them hits an oxygen tank that gets left by one of the residents and it hits him in the face.
And, they were about as competent as those idiots trying to break into Kevin McAllister's house.
Slightly more competent.
Even the old woman knew that Alexei was an idiot. Why would you trust Alexei to pick up your mother?
Alexei was fine. Like, he was okay. He almost broke her out.
But again,
it was, but if
Marla had a very specific set of skills.
No. But if you were the receptionist in that retirement home, would you believe like this big guy with his two brothers named like what were the names they used? Smith or something?
Hans and Franz. No,
these are my brothers, like Hans and Franz. I don't know whatever you call them, but would you believe that they were brothers and they were there to check out?
That's your concern? Their shitty aliases?
I don't know. Like it was just so bad. Like these guys look so sketchy. Like, they look so sketchy. You think that they're there to check out the place. This movie.
I was surprised that it was nominated at all. I mean, she's really good. She is, but I don't know if it's award worthy.
Is a good performance in a bad film enough to justify a nomination? I don't think so.
If you took out Rosamund Pike from this movie would have been so much worse.
Yeah, there'd be no movie. I agree.
But are they like hinging it on the fact that she just basically saved the movie?
She did.
Maybe that's what's best actress worthy. Because you were able to carry an entire shitty film by yourself.
But she was up against people like she was up against our favorite Maria Bakalova for Borat 2 in that same category.
Right.
And Anya Taylor-Joy. She was in Emma. And, she did the whole Big Eyes thing.
Emma?
You mean be herself?
Yes, they made Emma again. And it was her. And she was fun.
Oh, well. Well, I guess that's just a testament because everybody who's seen this and didn't like it, because surprise, some people liked it. Everybody who didn't like it were like, at least Rosamund Pike was in it. She was amazing. And that's always just the saving grace. It always just boils down to how good Rosamund Pike is.
That's true. Some people, like, they really just like working with Rosamund Pike. I remember after she came out, for a lot of people, she first got noticed in 2002 with Die Another Day. James Bond movie. Yeah. It ends with her in a tank top in a sword fight. So Anjo will watch it at some point.
I'm not even a big James Bond fan, but I was in the province when it came out, so there was really nothing to do. So we went to the local
a couple of years after that movie, Spielberg's War of the Worlds came out, and Rosamund Pike, he really wanted her in his movie, and she's like, I can't. I'm like 6-7 months pregnant. I'm huge. And Spielberg's like, no, it's cool. We'll make your character pregnant, because he just really wanted to work with her.
Aww. She's super cool.
This is a testament to how good or how much people love her.
That's why I'm always happy to see her on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not in Gone Girl so much, but...
Hey, I love Gone Girl.
I love Gone Girl.
Much.
It's probably one of my favorite movies.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean, like,
but yeah, you wouldn't
be so scary there, though. I get what you mean.
You wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of her rage in Gone Girl.
Hell no.
Actually, no, not even. You wouldn't want to be within 50 feet of her because she has collateral damage. Even her friend.
She was amazing in that movie, honestly. And I think you guys are right. I think it was that performance specifically that made the producers of this movie cast her. Because you really do see shades of it.
Yeah, it really is. And well, she looks so good in this movie. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go all fashioned on this, but that really straight, sharp bob was perfect for the look. Yeah, it's like, I mean business. I'm a fucking bitch and I mean business. And her power dressing, oh my God, which would probably have been so good to see more of those outfits in a courtroom kind of drama. You know what I mean?
But the wardrobe in this movie is really amazing.
I love the wardrobe.
My wife was saying all the outfits are nice. Even Isa Gonzalez's outfits were really good.
Yeah. Oh, Isa Gonzalez, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Can we get to her? She's also easy on the eyes on this movie.
But they tried to because she's hot. Call a spade. She's a gorgeous human being. She's really beautiful. Yes. It's also one of the reasons why I stuck through Bloodshot. Horrible movie, by the way. But they tried to tone down her beauty in this movie, but it still doesn't. The frizzy hair didn't help, or couldn't hide the fact that she was this gorgeous.
Yeah, and
woman.
It's refreshing for me too because we're used to seeing her in full-blown makeup. We saw her in
a hot Latina character.
Yeah, because that's what she's always been marketed as in most of her roles, like in Hobbs and Shaw with the
That's good marketing.
Red
Driver.
lipstick and Baby Driver too.
Probably her breakout role was that from Dawn Till Dusk TV series.
And well, she was still amazing, and it's also a commitment to the character. I guess I'm glad she's making these decisions that aren't really what her past work is just like.
No, I remember reading an article about her taking this role. I think the headline or the title of the article is Isa Gonzalez is done being the pretty lady or being the pretty character. Which is because I actually liked her role. I wish they would have done something more with the role. Be how what the saying is, behind every powerful man there's a powerful woman. She could have been that. She could have been
there's a more powerful woman.
The more powerful woman behind Rosamund Pike's character, or she could have been the sympathetic side. They could have played to that.
Yeah. You know what? What would have made sense in two ways. What would have made sense was if her character died, which she should have.
Yes.
And that could have been that would have given Marla a bigger reason to go apeshit on these characters with kind of
her
how
very specific set of skills.
Exactly. And you know how when John Wick's dog dies, that kind of shit, you know what I mean? And
that would require giving Marla motivation.
Yeah,
that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for.
And
it also would have given the audience something to connect to.
They were not interested in giving her any motivation. They just wanted her to be the world's luckiest person. That's why it was just so annoying. Every time they try and kill her, every time they try and do something to her, she escaped through the stupidest, dumbest contrivances, to the point that when the son of one of her victims showed up at the very end, you knew exactly where that was going.
Well, that Isa Gonzalez's character was like Kristen Wiig's, was cheated. She got dumbed down. The character got buried
she was just
under
an assistant.
Yeah.
Assistant / girlfriend.
That's why I was surprised that she actually was the girlfriend, because I was like, she struck me as an employee.
Because on Instagram, when I saw them promoting this movie, Isa Gonzalez would refer to Rosamund Pike as her wife. So I think they were married in the movie.
Well,
not sure.
They never really made it clear. I mean, they had those big the rings with the big diamonds at the end, but they never actually said whether or not they were married.
Yeah, that wasn't really clear from the start either.
No.
Yep.
Whatever.
Just, they're making out. Okay.
Say that again. Say that again.
They're a couple
so for that, you weren't on your phone.
I think I know.
I agree with
Aiju. Either. I wouldn't have been either. And can I be in either one of their shoes? Because I would not mind. Well, I want the shoes too. But I would take either of their places just to make out with either of them.
What I was saying about agreeing with Anja just now when they started making out was same thing. I mean, I agree. It came out of nowhere. Like, oh, so they're together, are they?
Right.
Like, there was just nothing.
I mean,
nothing that built it up. And
it was just jarring.
In the end, it had no consequence on anything that happened anyway.
Well, I mean, no consequence, maybe minimal, or it had a consequence, but it had a very minimal
No, it's
impact.
not, because she used her special set of skills to, get her out of an exploding house.
And her master of disguises.
Her master of non-disguise.
God.
Mastery of non-mastery.
Oh, jeez.
So it's safe to say that she pulls this thing off with her non-mastery of disguises, because the Russian bodyguards of this mob leader were totally oblivious as well.
Right, because they didn't imagine, the Estafa Queen being, a commando.
Wait, the Estafa Queen surviving that stage car crash, and then eventually becoming a commando right after her convenience store stop.
No, even before that, she was already a commando. Remember how she rolled under that garage door? And she was doing the whole breaking and entering thing? Come on. She knew exactly what she was doing, clearly from her years of paramilitary training.
It would have been cool if they had the Mission Impossible theme playing. Dun, 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 dun.
You know what? I would have absolutely no problem with all these things had they established it at the start. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I agree.
It could have been such a fun movie if the suspension of disbelief is just like if they just went for it. Like, if it's ridiculous, make it fucking ridiculous. Don't start it as some drama conspiracy con thing and then towards the end it's just gonna be like, oh, by the way, she's a superhero-ish kind of like person.
We're a revenge thriller now.
By the way,
some people actually liked the movie. Like, I saw a guy post a rating that he did, a personal rating that he did, that he gave the movie a 9 out of 10.
Did he give a reason?
The reason was pandering. Like, I don't know, the whole post on Facebook was kind of pandering, and I couldn't understand how and why he liked the movie.
Well, I don't judge anyone for liking it.
I don't
as
either.
long as you acknowledge that it was bad. Story-wise.
I don't judge people for liking a bad movie. I mean, I like Justice League. I like Batman versus Superman. Come on. I'm the last person who would judge a person for liking a terrible movie.
He's right.
But then it just goes to show, right? Come on.
Fucking Batman versus Superman. God.
Yeah, anyway. Going back to my point.
Gang's gonna have words with you.
She's had words with me about those movies for the past how many years I've known Deng. Anyway, where was I? You lost. Anyway,
sorry.
It just goes to show you, if that guy couldn't even name a reason why, aside from Rosamund Pike, why he liked the movie. That just goes to show you how confusing the plot was, how confusing the narrative was. Right? I mean, like, honestly, if it really wasn't for Rosamund Pike, this movie would have
been shopping more if it wasn't Rosamund Pike.
It probably saved me from spending more money. That's probably like the best thing it did. It had a great hook. It really did have a great hook.
It did. It would have been a great con picture, honestly. It could have been like Ocean's 11 or something.
Yeah, the first act was fantastic.
Ocean's 8.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Ocean's 8.
Me too.
That was like one of the best heist movies I've seen. Like, how clever they were.
And with believable, strong, independent women. Operative word, believable.
Even Anne Hathaway was so funny in there. Like, when she just... That's like a believable stone cold bitch.
Maybe we should have just watched that movie instead.
Yeah.
Well,
I love Sarah Paulson in that movie, though. In that she was like the suburban mom, and then she was running in operation in her backyard. That's pretty funny.
What about Helena Bonham Carter as herself?
Again?
As per usual.
Only this time she's a fashion designer? Oh.
Oh my God, don't get me started on Kate Blanchett, another woman. Oh my God.
Yes. And she's British too, like Rosamund Pike.
Another woman I would be so gay for. But anyway, yeah, that's how they could have done it. And, well, at least that was entertaining and believable.
I mean, come on, you had the small cast. You had like you had the mom, you had Roman, Peter Dinklage, you had Isa Gonzalez, and you had Marla Grayson.
We didn't spend enough time with the mom. I would have loved to see more of her.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
loved to see her stab a nurse. You know, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
I'm
dude.
pretty sure because she knows what her son is up to, and
She probably taught him.
yeah, exactly. She's this badass woman, and you know, honestly, when I saw the trailer for this movie for the first time, I was like, oh my god, this could be like, because I just recently watched Parenthood, and you know, you go from Diane Weiss. I don't know.
Come on.
Besides her name. Anyway, you get to her performance in Parenthood as this single mom who's trying to date, awkwardly trying to date men,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with these two teenagers.
Yep.
And then I watched this movie where she's this mysterious lady who you shouldn't mess with. Like, what is her past? I'm pretty sure she's killed, you know, her fair share of people in her prime before she
I would
decided to
imagine.
retire. Right? That would have been cool.
That's one thing. That's one thing also, like, not just for the character of Marla, like everybody just lacked so much backstory that
There's no depth at all.
yeah, no depth.
whatsoever. I mean, like, you have her trying to choke out Marla Grayson in the retirement home. That was gold. That moment was
It
gold.
was. And then we didn't
Other
see
than
her
that,
again for the rest of the movie till the
nothing.
end. Okay.
Sad.
Speaking of the end, we've been running a bit long. So now I need to ask you guys, what did you think of the ending?
Cop out.
Yeah, a
Cop
little bit
out.
of a cop. I would have liked it. Well, a lot of people who hated the character of Marla were like, yes,
Yes, like my wife.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Posh
she-
was so happy she died.
Mhm. I mean, she deserved
Spoiled
it. I mean, we're already here.
Mhm.
Might as well.
Yeah, for others.
So it's like cop out because I would have at least wanted her to continue this con to make it interesting.
I think it
Like-
would have been interesting if we saw how they built up that $1 billion corporation that she was so
Exactly.
rich running. You know, that would have been cool.
Or
I mean,
how about
know,
we
it-
also go to her being so open to teaming up with Peter Dinklage in the end?
Mhm.
It's like, really? Would you trust this motherfucker who just tried to kill you?
About a
I
That
kind of
easy.
got why. I kind of got why she did that because
Money?
he threw her the bone
I
of money.
guess,
Like
but
that's
it's like,
you see
I
how shallow the
guess.
character. You see how shallow the writing is or the development was. Like
It
nothing.
just wasn't clever. Yeah.
I guess it just all boils down to money. But then, is
Yeah,
it
exactly.
believable? Is it?
lazy.
there should-
It was
like I
lazy.
said-
They're really lazy, super lazy. Just
There's
chalk
no-
it up
there-
all to money.
Parang,
There's
you're
no
evil. I'm evil. Let's team up. Yay, we're best friends now.
I mean,
So
like
stupid.
I mean, there's no substance to the greed. If they gave greed substance, then that ending could have worked. You know, it could have been a great movie with another, you know, with
Oh,
with
man.
bad things happening for an ending, which could have been great.
I just
or
realized another thing, another lazy, stupid screenwriter thing. They showed the two of them getting into business and being super rich and getting successful and shit
Mhm.
through a news broadcast. I'm like, God damn.
oh yeah,
Oh,
that's why.
I'm
That's
like,
ex- yeah,
oh my God.
that's exactly why I said cop out. Come
That
on.
stuff would have been cool to see, you know? Watching
Mhm.
them, you know, take their con nationwide, international or whatever. Wala eh.
Or maybe like at least show more suffering old people to make you feel even more terrible about
Mhm.
this con.
But
Mhm,
again,
mhm.
the second that you see the kid of one of her victims show up at the very end, right after she's on cloud 9, you know exactly where it's going to go. And it offers you nothing surprising beyond that. It just gives you exactly what you think is going to happen.
Yeah. Disappointing.
It was.
You know, I'll just relish the fact that you know, this movie had Isaiah Whitlock in it, so you could call this movie shit. So, there's that.
Yeah.
I thought
Sad.
you were
And
gonna
I was
say
really
Isa
hoping for
Gonzalez.
this to succeed. I really wanted
Oh,
it to
that too.
succeed because, yes, of course, Rosamund Pike
Mhm.
and another story with a strong, independent lead woman, but you just made her so shallow that it's like, no.
It had
this
all
is
the
not a good
tools.
look.
It was like Wonder Woman 84, where, you know, Jay Blakeson, the director, much like Patty Jenkins, had all the tools he needed to make a successful
Yep.
movie. He had the formula, he had the cast, even the scoring was amazing in this movie, and the editing was great. It's just that there was no narrative that he could, you know, like there was no narrative that he there was no narrative at all. See, I could even
that was his fault too, since he wrote it.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe it was really, a case of somebody not knowing what to do because he had so many ideas.
Look at it this way. I mean, like, I think we've mentioned in our last mini-sode that we would love to be seeing more movies on the big screen sometime soon. This movie did not give me that feeling. This movie made me happy that I just saw it on Netflix and I didn't have to pay extra for it.
Exactly.
Technically, extra. Extra being the operative word.
Quick anecdote. I was watching it, and to be honest, yes, while I was watching it, I enjoyed it for what it was, because I guess I just really enjoy looking at Rosamund Pike. But
priorities.
My mom walked in. Probably I was 1/4 of the movie in, and she stuck with me. She watched it, and I guess she was also entertained. But at some point, I think it was after the car escape scene, she asked, grabe, may babae bang ganyan kagaling?
What?
And I was like, I immediately answered like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
In the general sense that yes, women can definitely do that. But I just wished that this movie was able to not even make her question that, because I guess it was also unbelievable in the first place that these things happen. And if it had been more clear that, oh yeah, she has these amazing abilities, or if it had been established that, yeah, she could do these things, then my mother wouldn't be asking that question.
I mean,
from her time as a Navy SEAL.
I mean, like,
or like maybe there's underlying sexism in that question too, but that's what I was hoping would change after this movie, that you would believe that women are capable of all these amazing things.
I don't think there was underlying
I believe that women are capable of these things. I just don't think that woman could.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it could have been one of those to change not even like cross my mom's mind at the very least.
Imagine kasi if the character was like a former Navy SEAL, tapos kamukha siya ni Ronda Rousey, then I would have believed that shit.
Now
diba?
Who's being sexist?
No, the character is a fighter. Ronda Rousey is an actual fighter.
Yeah, I'm just saying you don't need to be built like Ronda Rousey to have a certain set of skills.
Well, I don't know.
You just need to set it up in the story properly.
Probably.
Yeah, well, what the story initially set up was she was a brainy chick. She was a very she was a smart girl. She could get away with talking her way through things. But in no way did they establish her physical strength.
Wait. Spinning classes provides you with a functional know-how how to kick out windshields.
I don't give a shit how many spinning classes she took. The second that she disarmed an armed gunman with a taser, forget it. She was super cop.
And some people are actually resilient to tasers. Have you seen clips of people who could, take a hit from a taser?
What the hell do you watch on YouTube?
I don't know. I just see this. I just see these things.
You don't believe me when I say that.
Yeah, but the things you find are weird.
I am genuinely afraid of your algorithms.
Watching people get tased isn't weird.
Both of you. I am honestly genuinely frightened by your algorithms.
What if I just like firearms? Like watching people review firearms and stuff like that, and then these things pop up.
Are you trying to convince me or you?
Both of us. But I would say Misha's algorithm is scarier than mine.
You can say all you like. It's probably not true. I'm the nice one.
Yeah, not according to our serial killer episode.
Okay, with that, I think that's a show. Thank you guys for listening to our walkthrough I Care a Lot / rant of I Care a Lot.
Ooh, Let us know. Thing.
Yes?
It's so
funny. Can I just say something really stupid?
While
I saw the titles and like I reading the title I Care a Lot, it always reminds me of the Care Bears. I'm sorry. Okay, that's it.
I grew up watching.
You know what? That would be so cool. That would be so cool.
That.
I would watch it. That. If Rosamund Pike was shooting bad guys with her tummy, that would be cool.
Care Bears steal.
And with that statement,
now that's a show.
Care Bear steer.
Okay, thank you so much. We have been the Sub-Auteurs. Follow us on Facebook. Join our group, Sub-Auteurs. We like movies. And our Instagram at @sub_auteurs. We have a lot of fun stuff to share with you guys. We want to hear from you. Send us your memes. Send us your scoops. Send us just your thoughts about our other episodes. We've got a lot. You can find them all on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts.
And many thanks as well to those of you who commented on our Facebook group about this movie. We were kind of inspired by how the conversation was going in that group. A lot of opinions, a lot of thoughts.
Shout out to Ronaldo Shoko, who was the one who posted his own review.
Yes. Thank you. We love how you keep the conversation on movies going, and let's keep at it.
Absolutely.
And trust us, we do care a lot about your comments and posts.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew.
Until next episode, I'm Misha.
I'm Anja.
And I'm MJ.
Care Bears.
I can't get that image out of my head now. What the hell is wrong with you people? Rosamund Pike blasting people with a rainbow from her tummy.
That would be awesome.
Especially if it was her War of the Worlds tummy where she was like 7 months pregnant.
Oh my God.
She's just blasting bad guys with rainbows.
Belly laser from Rosamund Pike. Pew, pew, pew.